Welcome to Horse Business Builders. Today we're going to be diving into where do you even get started when it comes to getting your horse business to run more efficiently so that you can free up some time from working on those monotonous, repetitive day-to-day tasks, and you can actually free up some time that you can spend on actually moving your business forward towards the goals that you have, or maybe even spending some time with your family or with your own horse or whatever it is. So many of us as horse business owners, we spend so much time just keeping the day-to-day things running. And when we constantly get stuck in just being able to work on the things that have to get done today, because if they don't get done today, then we're not fulfilling the commitments that we've made, whether that's training that horse, getting that horse shod, making sure that horse has feed, the things that have to be done on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, our business falls apart. But far too many of us spend way too much time doing certain things that we don't need to be doing, that we don't have to do, that can be automated, that can be systematized in our business. And at this point, you're probably aware of that. You're just like, I don't know how to actually do that. If you're new to the Horse Business Builders, guys, want to welcome you. Our whole focus here is on bringing you the knowledge to be able to have the knowledge that you can implement to make a real difference in your business. We know that the better that your business runs, the better that you can serve your horses, the better you can serve your clients, your students, your customers, everyone else around you. And it starts with getting your business working efficiently, working profitably, actually working for you, because so many of us as horse business owners got into this so that way we could build a lifestyle of freedom, right? The freedom to do what we want with who we want, when we want, and to be able to make a living doing what we love. And so that is one of our primary focus here. We also have the tools, right? We have a platform called Horse Business Manager. It's the all-in-one horse business management platform where you can be able to run your business from one place. We're going to talk about a little bit about that and how to maximize that and how to utilize that in your business, because that's one of the best tools out there for you to actually stop having to do these monotonous day-to-day tasks. And so we'll dive into that. And we also have our Horse Business Solutions, which is our team that can work on projects for you, whether building your website for you, helping elevate your branding, your marketing. Our team's here to help you make that happen. And so behind Horse Business Builders itself, on the public front, right, you're listening to it. We have our YouTube channel, we have a podcast platform, those types of things. But we also have our Horse Business Builders community, which is a private community just for horse business owners and professionals in there, that we can all come together for men's calls, ladies' calls, Bible studies, business calls. We're there to support each other, to network, to do business together. And anybody that is already using the Horse Business Manager platform, you get free access to that. But guys, that's a little bit of what we are as horse business solutions and horse business manager and horse business builders, all that fun stuff. My name's Colton Woods, and none of this is possible without my wife, who is behind the scenes constantly working on these things, as well as our amazing team. And of course, we couldn't do it without you guys, because we're here to help you guys get your business working the best possible so that you can have your business help you accomplish the goals and the dreams that you have in your life. All right. So with that being said, today's video, right, as we get into where do you even start? Where do you start in terms of optimizing and getting your business to run more efficiently? And this whole video came up because we were out doing some holiday shopping this last weekend, and a horse trainer by the name of Jade Slade, which once you hear that name, you won't forget it. It's a pretty epic name. And so Jade came up to me, he saw me, we were in a tack store, and came over, introduced himself, and we got to have a pretty in-depth conversation. I always encourage you guys, if you see me or my wife out and about, don't be afraid to say hi. We always appreciate it. And I love talking business, especially when my wife wants to shop. I'm like, hey, I'll stand over here and talk business with Jade. So that's exactly what happened. And a lot of the conversation was centered around and Jade was asking, like, where do I start in terms of getting my business to run more efficiently? Because I'm short on time and I don't know what I need to do first. I don't know what makes most sense. Where should I start? And so I wanted to share with you exactly what I shared with Jade in that conversation, because This will be extremely helpful for so many of you guys. And I'm going to share a lot of this comes from exact personal experience. And one, what I did within my own business as a horse trainer, but also exactly how we help other horse business owners through Horse Business Solutions be able to get their time back. Right. We want you to be able to get your time back because you only have so much of it. And if you're constantly spending it just keeping the ship afloat, you can never get the ship to move forward. Right. If you're just barely keeping your business alive, how can you get that business to move, to go forward towards the vision that you have or used to have for your business, right? And so there's no sense. We come to a point in our business where we have to realize we need to let go of certain things that we don't actually need to be doing, and we need to find more efficient ways to go about doing this stuff. And so what's the first step? Where's the first place that we're going to start? Right. And the very first question I asked Jade, the very first question I would ask you is, do you have a website? Do you have a website? You're going to say yes, or you're going to say no. Right. If you don't have a website, the very first step I would say is you need to get a website. All right. And not in the 2000 version of a website where it's an informational brochure that's on the internet. That is not what a website needs to be in today's market. All right. An effective website in today's market not only is informative, but it provides a client experience. When people click into your website, it is a virtual experience with your business. It sets the tone with what they can expect when it comes to working with you as a professional or working with your company as a professional business. Okay. And so a website needs to be very specifically curated to make sure that it is easy to navigate. All right. So that it's informative, that it is very clear on who you are able to help and who you want to help. And it also guides them to take action. All right. A website that is really well done does those things. Okay. How we do that is through the branding, through the copywriting, all of those pieces. But you need a website. And the reason being is that if in today's market, if you don't have a website, if you only have a Facebook page, a lot of times people go to a website to find out more information. They go there to see how legitimate you are. They go there to kind of vet your business out. You know, how professional of a supplement company are you running? How professional of a tack company are you running? How professional of a service-based company are you running? And people go there to try to get to know your business a little bit more. See if they align with the values that your business stands for. Can they actually trust you to help them with what they want to accomplish with their business, right? We want to make sure that the website does those things. But if they find you on social media and you don't have a website, a lot of times they're like, there's not enough here for me to go off of to know whether I can really trust this person or to help me with the problem that I need to solve or help me get the result that I need. And so, and people move so quickly in today's society, right? We have the whole COVID situation and Amazon effect where people are just getting used to getting things faster and sooner, which means they're willing to make decisions much quicker, but they have to have the information at their fingertips to be able to do that. So a website on the front end is having a center, having a place where people can go 24/7, 365 to be able to get to know you, see if they can get to like you, see if they can trust you, and be able to then follow your process. Okay. Follow your process of what do they need to do to be able to actually get your product or work with you through your services. Okay. And that means that your website then needs to have a pathway, right? For what do they do next? And it needs to guide them effectively to go and take actions. All right. So that part is really, really important. So then that gets into yes or no, you have a website. All right. So I want to break this down piece by piece. You need to have a website. You understand what elements, what ingredients we need to have within that website to make sure that it's working super effectively. And then we have those call to actions. What do they need to do? And that's where the systems come into play. All right. And so, like early on in my horse training career, I was just interested in training horses. I didn't want a website, I didn't want to do the marketing thing. Though I was at that place at one point. My wife's like, oh, you need a website, you need a website, you need a website. And I was like, I don't need a website. I don't see the reason for needing a website. But the thing that what sold me on the website first was the systems. Okay, was the systems. And the first system that we implemented in our service-based business was an application. Right. And why did that application process sell me on the value of that website, which was because and many of you guys, whether any type of service-based business and oftentimes even a product-based business, deals with people messaging, asking the same questions over and over and over and over again, only for them to go ask all those questions. And then you get down to the nitty gritty and then they ghost you and they disappear. And you're like, I just sunk all this freaking time into answering this lady's questions or this guy's question about their horse or about the problem that they're having or about my service. And I've answered the same questions for all these people and then they disappear. And I'm just wasting my time. And I'm already busy enough as it is. And maybe you're at that point or you've been at that point. And so what we ended up doing, and this is what we do with almost all the horse business owners that come to us and work with us, is we implement a very strategic service page that makes sure that we have all the questions answered as much as possible. We implement a process of when someone does reach out on social media, how we guide that person to the website, right? And then they get guided to the website and there they fill out an application. All right. So the website gives them the ability to self-vet, right? If there's anything there that doesn't click and they're like, this person isn't for me, this professional is not for me, this business isn't for me, this product's not for me, then they disappear, right? They move on. But it didn't cost you any time. Okay. But if they're like, oh no, I would like to further inquire about this service, then they fill out the application, and that application gives you, as the business owner, the information you need about the client up front so that you can initially decide, am I interested in working with this potential person, with this potential horse? And it doesn't cost you your time because you get a text message notification and an email notification that, hey, Susie Q filled out your application. And then you go check it and you review it, that night or the next day. You do it within 24 to 48 hours, review it. And if you like them, then you have an automation, you have a system in place that we use Horse Business Manager for to be able to invite them to schedule a call with you. And they can set up a 30-minute phone call and you guys can then go through the second part of the application process, or what we call the closing process, where you continue to vet that client out a little bit and then figure out, hey, am I actually going to decide to lock this client in? That system, right, between using a website plus an application system with the follow-up systems that come from that, sets the tone for a very professional experience, clear communication, healthy boundaries and expectations right out of the gate. And it shows that you have a process, you have a professional process that to help them get the result that they want. And that starts a client and professional relationship off on a very professional note. And that part is really, really, really important for making sure that you're bringing in not just clients, but bringing in the right clients. So that part is super, super important. And what this does is, and that's just one particular system, right? Then we hook in, if you book that person in, we hook in systems that we recommend of like, hey, let's make sure that once they commit, they're like, yes, I do want to do your horse training service or your farrier service, right? That you're then able to utilize invoicing systems or contract systems or a system for liability waivers, right? Whatever fits your specific business, but then you automate being able to get those documents signed, automate being able to make sure that you get paid on time so that you're not chasing people up, because the worst thing is you're doing what you do every day and then someone doesn't pay on time and then you're chasing them up for money and then you have to chase them up so many times that it's like, now I'm losing money because I'm spending time fulfilling the service and trying to chase them up on the bookkeeping. So we use systems to make sure that we get rid of having to play 27 questions on Facebook, to people wasting your time, to making sure that you're trying to get the information that you need. And we systematize all of that. And one of the big things that some people get a little concerned about is like, well, then the systems, like they don't sound like me, they're not personal. It's like, that's not true anymore. It's 2024. It's about to be 2025. That's not true anymore. These systems can be personalized to such a degree that it sounds just like you, right? And I'm type A enough myself, my friends, that I want it to be super personal. I want it to be very customized to the tonality and how I communicate with my clients. And so all of our systems are, and yours can be too, right? So that's not an excuse anymore. Whereas things used to be clunky and they're not clunky anymore. We've got the ability through Horse Business Manager to make this stuff very genuine, very authentic, and also very punctual because that is the thing that the people value most these days is oftentimes the speed of communication and being able to get back to people. And so that making sure that like, hey, when they do submit their application, we do have, an automation in place that tells them, hey, we've received your application and we'll be in touch with you within the next 24 to 48, maybe 72 hours at max, right? That tells them that it sets the expectation so they don't turn around and end up in your Facebook Messenger or texting you or calling you or emailing you saying, I submitted my application 12 minutes ago. I haven't heard back from you, right? No, it's like you have an automation that sets that expectation for them right out of the gate. Okay. And so that is the first step is making sure that your website is working for you. Because if your website isn't working for you and it's just an internet brochure, it's worthless, right? Your website should be working for you. It should be a customer service agent. It should be your salesperson. It should be your Southern hospitality per se, right? It is an overall customer experience. It's informative, it's helpful, it's enjoyable. Your website needs to be working for you, and it has to have the systems integrated within it so that you actually capture new business. You actually capture those people that are interested in working with you, which means that your call to actions and the call to actions that it guides people to take are working, they're on point, and they lead into your systems that allow those systems to work for you to where you're not having to do all the repetitive, monotonous work over and over and over again. Everything from answering questions to also then scheduling appointments and those types of things to sending invoices, sending contracts, like all of that stuff can be automated and it should be, right? You can manage it, you can oversee it, but it's automated so that it doesn't take the time that you need to be spending doing what you're actually meant to be doing, right? And so Meredith and I love sharing this with you guys is that Meredith has a rule for me, which is like, hey, if it doesn't take your face and your voice, you don't need to be doing it. And we're not perfect in that. Like I still get caught doing certain things that I quote unquote shouldn't be doing, right? Like I was out cleaning stalls yesterday. Should I really be spending my time doing that? Not every single day, but it was good for me just to go do something with my hands, right? And just to like not think and not have to be on the grind all the time. So I cleaned all the stalls yesterday and it was like, yeah, this was somewhat enjoyable. But we try to follow the rule. If it doesn't take your face or your voice, you don't need to be doing it, which means like you don't need to be doing things that can be automated and systematized when they can be automated and systematized because your skill set and your time is better spent doing your craft, right? Making your product, fulfilling your service, or spending time with your kids, or spending time with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, right? Your husband, your wife. Like that is where your time is much more valuable, not doing something that the computer can do for you. All right. And many of us have to learn to let go of that and realize that, if you're type A like myself, when you let go of it, you realize like, hey, I tell the computer to do this, it does it for you that same way every single time, right? Over and over and over again, it does exactly what you want it to do. So if you're type A, you can get it to do exactly what you want it to do. All right. So that's the first part, right? We start with websites and we start with systems. The second part then is like once we have the websites with systems working for us, right? Then the next step becomes creating market leverage. Okay. And we create market leverage through branding and through marketing. Right. And what is this really going to do is this is going to allow us to build demand within our businesses to where we have more clients, more customers, more students, more people that we're meant to be serving that we can serve, reaching out to us, building that demand up, which also allows you to then create opportunity in your business to where you're like, hey, if I've got an increased amount of demand, then I can oftentimes increase my prices. Okay. Or I can create different types of offers, which I'll get to the different types of offers here in the third step here. But when you have demand and you have people that are willing to pay you for your service, sometimes if you're undercharging, now that gives you the confidence to go, now I can raise my prices up, right? And you can start to charge more because you have brand value, you have brand leverage in the market, and you look at basic supply and demand, right? If you're in a service-based business, there's only so much supply because you can only spend so much time supplying your service. And therefore, if you have an increased amount of demand, then oftentimes you can charge more for that to be able to increase the profitability in your business. Okay. And so we want to lean into marketing and branding to be able to increase that market leverage. All right. Because there's only two ways in your business that you're going to increase your profitability, and that is either to raise your prices or lower your expenses. Okay. And I always encourage anytime we can lower expenses without sacrificing quality, that's always a good idea. That's called just running a business. But then there becomes the game of how much can we charge for our particular service and keep the demand flowing within our business. Okay. And so that becomes the next piece because most businesses have a lot of work to do there. Okay, most of us have a lot of work to do on being able to create more brand value, create more market leverage, to do a better job on reaching more people, to reaching the right people. You might have to make certain decisions on, well, I'm currently serving this group of people and I'd rather be serving this group of people. So then you make some strategic branding and marketing based decisions to be able to shift who you're actually serving in your business. All that's going to depend on what exactly you've got going on in your business. But once you have the systems in place and you have the website in place, then we lean into the branding, then we lean into the marketing, right? Because that is a day-to-day thing where you want to be relentlessly consistent on making sure that your branding decisions and your marketing execution is bringing in more of the right people for your business. Okay. And then with clients, right? When you have an abundance of clients, we have more clients than you can serve showing up at the door. You have the opportunity to make all sorts of types of decisions, right? Of how can I serve these people? How can I be more efficient in serving these people? It's like if I'm teaching lessons, I go from private lessons to now teaching small group lessons. If I'm going from this part of my business, am I going to go from just training to am I going to go to teaching clinics, right? And I see that on the farrier side where some farriers are like, hey, I'm the one underneath the horse. And then I go to having guys ride along with me to then, hey, I'm actually going to go teach farrier type clinics around the country. Like there's so much you can do here. So even on a boarding barn basis or a supplement company or a tack based company, right? Once you get your website and your systems automated running for you, and then you lean into the branding and the marketing, it opens up a plethora of opportunities, right? Because one of the number one needs that every small business has is that we need more clients, we need more customers. And one big mistake that business owners make is once they start to get comfortable, you start to get that client demand, and you're working on the marketing, you're working on the branding, you're getting it going, and then you get in abundance. You're like, okay, now I've almost got more than I can handle. Small business owners make that massive mistake of backing off on the marketing. And this is a huge mistake that I don't want you to make because if even when times are good, if you back off, you don't just instantly lose clients. It ends up having a negative impact 3 to 6 months down the road because it's a momentum. Marketing is momentum that you have to build. And once you get up a good momentum, I see so many small business owners that actually back off when they have that momentum because they're like, oh, it's good and cushy and I've got all these people to help. And they assume it's going to stick around forever. And so they back off on the marketing. And that becomes a massive issue because then 3 to 6 months down the road, they're like, oh, I need people to serve. I need customers, I need clients, I need students, I need people buying my product, I need people buying my service. And then they realize, like, oh man, I need to start marketing again because now I need customers. But then you have to build the momentum again. And it takes, 60, 90, 150 days to get that marketing rolling again sometimes, especially if you're not using an email list. Right. If you have an email list, it's a little easier to get that thing rolling. But if you're just using organic social media marketing, it can be a little more difficult to get that ball rolling again. And so it's really important that you get your marketing, your branding systems, right? Like through Horse Business Manager, we're able to schedule across all of our platforms. We're able to utilize it and we can schedule all of our content one time into Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube. And we can schedule all of this content to go out onto all these platforms. And I can like make one post and it hits 3 platforms or hits 4 platforms. And it's super efficient in our time to do that. But also, we're able to do certain things like take one post and we can tell it to post it every 90 days, right? And so we create that one post and then we're able to schedule it out every 90 days. And it's super effective in our time. And it makes things way easier. and we keep that marketing momentum rolling in our business. And when we do that, we are able to keep the level of demand up. And then that gives us constant opportunities within our businesses to take our businesses different directions or enhance them, right? Because any business gets stifled if we don't have enough customers, right? And so we don't want to end up in that position. All right. So step number two is like, create market leverage with your branding, with your marketing, and be relentlessly consistent so that you can build demand and allow you to actually maximize the profitability of your business. Okay. So then the third step here is where we start moving forward, right? The first step of websites and systems, right? That helps fix your day-to-day problem of not having enough time and wasting time on things that you don't actually need to be doing, right? Then the second step when we come into creating market leverage with your branding and your marketing is creating that demand that allows you to have the finances and allows you to have the freedom to start making decisions on how am I going to move my business forward? Because now I've got the finances coming in. I've alleviated my time through systems. And then the third step, when we get into offer creation to move your business forward and continue serving your clients, that this is where we're starting to go, okay, and where are we taking our business? Okay. And some of you guys might go, well, I'm going to double down on my business. Like I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to make what I'm currently doing better. Right. And that's one of the things that is so far overlooked is so many times we get squirrel brain entrepreneur like, oh my gosh, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. And I get distracted with an abundance of ideas. And sometimes the smartest thing is like the thing that I'm doing right now is working. So how can I just make what I'm doing right now even better? But some of you might go, well, hey, what I'm currently doing right now is a means to an end. And now that I've got the finances coming in and I've got some time, I'm actually going to create another offer. I'm going to create another way to continue serving my clients, my students, my customers, right? If you're in a product-based business, it's like, well, I've got these three core products, and I'm going to create this fourth and this fifth product, right? Or I'm going to go to this other company. I'm going to build a relationship with them, and so that we can collaborate and work together. And you could do that in a product or a service-based business, right? But now you've got the time and you've got the finances to go build those partnerships, to go build those relationships, to go build those products, or even to invest in creating the next service-based offer that you want for your business. All right. But that's where we get into this third step, right? And so we do have a 5-step process, right, of building horse businesses. And we actually have a free training on it. I'm going to link it down below for you in case you want to in case you want to get access to that, we'll send it straight to you. We'll email it straight to you. And it takes you through the 5-step process that we go through to build, grow, and scale horse businesses. And the fifth and final step, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I'm going to kind of give you the sneak peek of what the fifth and final step is with that one, which is called retain and upsell. Okay. Because that's what this third step that I'm talking about you in this video is focused around is retain and upsell is how do I retain the current clients that I've worked so hard to get in my business? And then how do I continue serving them? That's what the upsell means. Like retain and upsell means like, how do I keep them? And then how do I help them at the next place? So it means you take them from what they just currently paid for and you upsell them into that next offer. But when a lot of times people are like upsell sounds cheesy, it sounds salesy. And it's like, well, it is a business, right? We're going to upsell them. They're going to pay for the next level of service or the next product that we're going to. So it is an upsell. But the thing is, it's the next level of serving them. So oftentimes, like your current product or your current service helps them overcome a current problem. It helps them achieve a specific result. But once they get to that result, once they overcome that problem that you've helped them with, they're now at the beginning of another problem. They're now at the beginning of a whole nother set of problems. And now they need help getting to the next step. And so within our business, it becomes this constant game of how can I continually help my customers and clients and my students, right? And so I often say, if you're a horse trainer and you train the horse and now the horse is getting ready to go home, what is the new set of problems that customer client might have? And it's like, okay, well, if they're going to take their horse home, now they need help maintaining the training at home. So is that them hauling back in for lessons or virtual lessons? Are they going to come back for a clinic, right? There's lots of ways that you can help them, right? Is it through an online course or an online community that you build where then they get access to you and your program? and you can continue helping them and their horse build their partnership and build their relationship together, right, and their skills. If you're a farrier and you've done, well, it doesn't matter whether you're just trimming the horse, doing corrective shoeing, performance shoeing, those types of things, you get the job done. And it's like, well, then now what does the client need to do to maintain that horse's hoof health from there on out, right? And especially if you're in like a corrective situation, right, there might be other things that you can be a part of. And part of that is like making sure they're on a good schedule, right? Making sure that, someone's not going 12 weeks and maybe they need to be on 6 weeks. And also, but there could also be products, right? I think farriers, if they carried specific products that you truly believe in on your truck, and you have a horse that has really brittle feet, and you have a product, whether it's a supplement based product or a product that you apply to the hoof capsule that you actually think works, that you have an upsell there sitting on your truck of like, hey, I believe in this product, and if you put your horse on it, that this will help with this problem, fix this problem, right? Some kind of ointment that you put in there for thrush or whatever, right? So you can look at whatever your business is, and say, okay, my current service or my current product helps a client that has this current set of issues overcome this problem or get this desired result. And when they get this desired result, now what do they face? And that is where the retain and upsell piece comes in, right? Because now you create either a new offer that you can continue helping them, or you also put them on basically a continuity play, which is like very much a farrier or a lesson barn, where it's like, hey, well, they're going to continue coming back for regular lessons. Because I've seen a lot of programs, particularly where people will just, they'll call a farrier and just like, oh, the horse's feet are looking long. And it's like, no, like get that client on a schedule, right? Or get that lesson student on a schedule. Or if you're on a supplement based company, get them on a monthly subscription where they're on auto ship, right? And so that you create that reoccurring revenue within your business, because farriers are basically running a subscription business, right? And lesson programs can be running a subscription business, especially if you set it up to where you're billing all of your students at the first of the month and they're paying very similar to a gym membership, right? And so there's a lot of ways I could go through a menagerie of different types of business models and ways to set this up. The principle that you need to understand, though, is that at this stage here, this is moving your business forward. So when you look at the vision for your business, if you're looking at the vision for your business and you're like, hey, what I'm currently doing right now is a means to an end, then this is where you start working on the next phase. You start to work on the next phase of your business of like, now I've got the time and I've got the finances to build the future of my business. So what does that look like? What is the offer, right? What is the service? What does the product look like that is going to help move your business forward? And you start working on that. That does not mean that it's instantly short-term ROI positive. In fact, oftentimes these things take some time, right? And if you're already in your honey hole, and you're like, I'm right where I want to be, but I could offer this other product or service that would be helpful to my students or to my customers or my clients. It's like, cool. Then you're building something that is a natural bridge between where you're at and the next thing that can help. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to invest in that, because that's another way for me to deeply serve my clients, my customers, my students. And everything should be, you guys hear me say, serve them, right? These offers are meant to be very helpful. They're meant to have your customers, your clients, your students' best interest in mind. And so understanding through the branding process, what do they want? What do they need? Who are they? All those things, you can be more in tune with what you can do to help them. Okay. And so that part's really important. And then you just execute. You execute on that. And you might be at a point in your business where you're like, you know what? Like what we're doing is working really well. And we don't need to be doing anything else, but we can make what we're currently doing better. Then do that. Right? Do that. Right? Do that. And frankly, most people should be doing that particular piece way more. And then later on doing the new offer creation of just make what you're currently doing way better. Right? And that will always help with demand. That'll give you higher profitability. So we don't want to constantly get distracted by new opportunity. I want to make that part very clear. Okay. But we're going to fix our current time situation of working hard to stay broke and not having enough time to work on the future of our business by making sure we've got a website with integrated systems. We're going to then go into creating market leverage with our branding and our marketing, right? So that we can actually have an abundance of demand for our product or for our service that'll allow you to maximize your profitability. It'll allow you to select the clients that you actually want to be working with. And once we've got our finances rolling and we've got our time under control, then we start to work on the moving our business forward in the direction that we have for the vision of our business through the retain and the upsell to continually serving our customers, our clients, our students, our horses, and all those types of things. And as I mentioned, guys, um, that was just the fifth step of a five-step process. Down below, I've linked a link down to that free training that takes you through the 5 steps that we go through in being able to actually make the decisions, attract the right clients, be able to da 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 da. Okay. And you'll go through that and you'll get access to that. So if you click that link, we'll send that straight to you. How we make all this stuff happen, y'all, is very straightforward. We use Horse Business Manager because it will allow you to have your website on there. It allows you to centralize all of your marketing, from your social media marketing to your email marketing to text message campaigns. You can do all of that. You can centralize all of your communications, right? So you're being able to be way more efficient because your text messages, your phone calls, your social media messages, all of that can goes into the Horse Business Manager app in one single place. You don't have to chase messages up. That makes you more efficient. All the systems, from application systems to client outreach systems that we have been talking about with your invoicing, your contracts, all of your client information can be hosted all in one place on Horse Business Manager. Okay. It is exactly what we designed to work for my own business. And then it naturally grew of people saying, "Hey, Colton, what are you guys using in your own business to make things run more efficiently?" And then we didn't intend to create a software business. Okay. We intended to help build my own business, and then people ask for help, and it's been a natural growth. So like when I share with you, like, this is exactly what we use, it's because we built this to work in my own horse businesses to begin with. And then more people just like you started saying, how can I actually get my business running? This was like, well, this is what we're using. We had to figure out how to get it in your hands, but then we got it in your hands, and now you can run everything super, super efficiently, right? So if you're thinking like my retain and upsell is a course or it's a membership or it's a private community, Horse Business Manager can host all of that for you, right? And so you're able to do that. It's super affordable. You will save it. You will be ROI positive just in the time that you save on a month-to-month basis using Horse Business Manager, not to mention the money that it will actually make you because you have systems that catch more leads, and you're able to be able to serve your clients and your customers at a higher level and be more efficient about it. Here's the thing. Here's the full transparency. I was telling this to Jade, who I was initially having this conversation with over the weekend, is that it's so easy a horse trainer can use it. We didn't use that as like the slogan on the website or anything like that, but it really is. It is so easy a horse trainer can use it. It's so easy a farrier can use it. It's so easy to use a horse professional can use it. All right. It is extremely user friendly as a platform, and it has to be that way because I'm a horse trainer myself. Right. And so we're right there with you. All right. And if you're daunted and you're like, I don't know how to get my website exactly, or I don't know how to get my marketing or my branding right where it needs to be, I'm going to put a link down below where you guys can actually schedule a free call with us. If you want to jump on a free discovery call and talk about how our solutions team can help you, you'll talk to me, you'll talk to my wife, and we'll talk with you about, hey, what's your current project? What do you need help with your website? We've got a lot of this stuff to be very affordable for you. So if you're like, I don't know that I can afford a custom website and those types of things, just go ahead and just schedule a discovery call. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you've currently got. Let's see what you might need, what's going to actually help you get the results that you need in your business. And we can talk about how we can help you. All right. So you can schedule the call. It doesn't hurt. It's completely free. Schedule that call and we can jump on there and we can talk about it. And we see how we can help you, because at the end of the day, guys, like, our whole motive and what we're trying to do is to make this industry a better place, not just for us here today within the industry, but also for future generations. And we want to see you guys be able to take your business and let your businesses be the vehicle to accomplish the goals and the dreams that you actually have in your business. And so we'll keep putting out all these free videos here on YouTube. If you had something you took away that was super helpful from this, we always appreciate you guys dropping a comment down below. We've got the free training linked, as well as if you want to jump on a discovery call, 30-minute call, go ahead and click that link down below as well. And we look forward to talking with you. And without further ado, we'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. and we'll use those to create future videos for you. So y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.